you doing, Jose?
How's it going, Pablo?
I am alive. Do you want to give yourself a quick introduction?
Sure. I'm Jose Tapia. I live in North Carolina, Winston-Salem, actually. I was born and raised Oak Ridge, Kernersville area, and I work as a videographer. And I know you, Pablo, through a mutual friend that I met at college, UNCW. Yeah, met you in Charlotte. I think
Good.
at a NASCAR race,
Was
wasn't
that the
it?
first time we met?
It probably was. I mean, it sounds right, even if it's not totally true.
Yeah.
It was either that or a bar, as far as I can remember.
Back when I lived in North Carolina, going to NASCAR tailgates.
So much fun.
Yeah, those are a lot of
Got to
fun.
go again post COVID.
Wait, you live in Winston-Salem, but where did you say you were originally from?
Oh, so not far from here, people know North Carolina. It's Kernersville, Oak Ridge. The two towns kind of touch each other. Um, yeah,
Wait, so you've lived in North Carolina your whole life?
yeah, man. I never have lived outside of North Carolina before. Yikes! I am not well traveled. I'm a sheltered dude. I don't know why you're talking to me, honestly. I don't know what I could provide perspective.
Wait, you've never really wanted to travel?
Oh, of course. No, I would love to travel. I just I haven't really made those moves too much up till now. But I'm 30. Uh, let's make it happen.
Well, dude, right now is a great time to travel because flights are dirt cheap.
Dude, it's like never been safer, really. The skies are totally clear with no planes.
Dude, I'm telling you, actually, people here in New York, they're either afraid to get in the subway or they're super happy to get on the subway. And that's because there's two mindsets, right? One, oh, I don't want to get in the subway because, it's crowded, it's dirty, I'm going to catch COVID. And then the other mindset is for the first time in its history, it actually closes. The subway closes. It's no longer 24/7.
Hmm.
And
So they can clean it up.
after, yeah, they disinfect
Oh, no
everything.
way.
They kick all the homeless people out.
Oh shit.
And so basically, if there's ever a time to ride the New York subway,
This is the
the New
most
York City subway, yeah,
luxurious moment, really.
dude,
I might go up to New York just for that, just to see how clean those subways can get.
man, I'm telling you, some of it, like if you ride it in the morning, it is squeaky clean.
That's crazy. I was just up there literally middle of February, so I guess that was about a month before COVID. It was like to where I was going up there to visit a friend. That's actually I met up with you towards the end of that visit. I don't know if you
Yep.
remember. But yeah, I went up there and the inklings of COVID was in the news. Um, I mean, you remember like learning like what is coronavirus? What is that even a word? It was like what is this new thing? You kind of have no idea how important it's going to be later on. And I was
Right.
telling
No,
my
it was barely on the news as a headline, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was seeing like crazy videos out of China, which American mentality, it's like, that's, in another corner of the world. That's not going to affect me.
Why should we give a shit about what's going on in China?
We got too many problems. Until it's my problem, I don't have to care. But
Dude, that's literally the mindset of most people.
sad. But I mean, you remember seeing that video of like, it was a drill of something Chinese government related, and it was about how to apprehend a suspected COVID patient. And there was like they filmed this drill that they did with like the officials all like in hazmat suits and everything. They would like they get him out of his car, I guess, if he's trying to like stop
Oh,
walk
that's
through a
right.
checkpoint or something.
That's
And they
right.
like had it was like basically five guys on one trying to apprehend this dude, and they would like put a net over his head, like a regular like a fishing net kind of thing with like mesh. It's like, what is that gonna do? Like,
Didn't they like try to take his temperature in the very beginning or something like that?
I
Or
don't
am I thinking of
I
the
don't
wrong video?
I only saw the clip. I mean, this was a drill, so it's like what would happen, I guess. They were
Mm, mm,
practicing,
mm.
but I only saw or I only remember the part of the clip that's funny. So I don't know what else they did, but it's like just get his hands, you know, handcuff them. I don't know what you do, but I was like, oh, that's hilarious. Oh well, back to my normal life. And then yeah, actually, I was telling my friend who was living up in New York, I was like, hey, I'm about to get on this plane. Do you think I had this extra mask that I had bought a while back just for mold or something? I think it was N95, coincidentally. And I
Hmm.
was like, hey, people wearing masks on the airplanes, right? Like, you think I'll be all right? He's like, hey man, don't be a bitch. Just bring your ass up here. He's like, you don't need no mask. I was like, all right, and
Masks are for
yeah,
pussies.
and I fold so easily under peer pressure. I still brought it, but I just didn't put it on, because I didn't want people to look at me, you know.
Nah, man. I mean,
But
well, that's something that's crazy. Is that never in my life would I have imagined people just walking around every day with a mask on.
right, I'm kind of glad that we went through that little obstacle because now I'll never be embarrassed about masks again. Like, oh, everyone's looking, because I get self conscious. It's kind of a flaw, but it's like if you're the only person on a plane wearing a mask, you're gonna get weird looks, and people are gonna be like, "What?" You
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But
No, I
I'm as a country, we're way past that now, so I'm very glad. But
well,
um,
that's just natural, right? It's always tough to be that the one and only person taking some sort of precaution like that. I mean, even here in New York before the pandemic, it was rare to see someone wear a mask, and 99% of the time if somebody was wearing a mask, it's an Asian lady.
right, yeah,
Um and that's what really blows me away is how quickly things turned. When I went to Asia, when I went to Hong Kong and Japan, people wore masks way more regularly.
right. It's not.
And
It's just stigma's not there, I guess.
right, and then now I can't go anywhere without seeing 99% of the people wearing masks.
I'm glad we're finally taking some good cues from the rest of the world. Maybe the metric system will be next. I'm not sure, but
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
oh, sorry.
America will not be America the day we adopt the metric system.
Er,
We have to let either Russia or China take us over for that to happen.
It's just one of those like little tidbits about my personality, man. Like so I got off of all this website. I got like this. I don't jog that much, but it's a vest, like a visibility neon safety vest with lights in it, so that
Please don't tell me you wear that.
you can wear it when you jog at night, so that you're visible. It's got like lights on it, and I bought it just keep in my little gym bag, just because it's like fall now, so it gets dark faster. And as I was driving to the park where I always go, I saw like more and more people wearing it because I was already thinking about it. You're gonna see what's on your mind. And I was like, oh well, thank God. It's like, whoa, they're wearing that, so I'm not gonna look like a loser. All right,
I'm not
it's
gonna
like,
be the only
yeah,
loser here.
but my mom's voice is always in the back of my head, just in life of like she's like Nemo's dad, basically. Be careful with this. Something bad might happen. You always got to protect yourself and be careful. And it's like, well, don't do what's smart, like wear a mask on a plane because you might look like an idiot. You need to get past that sometimes. So, but I wore that vest today. It was good. I liked it. You should. Anyone listening to this, you should wear a safety vest. Safety,
Safety
safety
first.
first, number one priority.
Yeah, see, my mom is the same way. I mean, where are your parents from?
They are both Mexican. My dad's from Michoacan, and my mom is from San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, so I'm from Mexico. My parents are Mexican. And everything. We're all fucking 100% Mexican. But and my mom is the same way. She'll be like, "Hey, it's starting to
Mijito.
get a little cold outside. You want to put a scarf? You want to put on some gloves? You want to put on earmuffs? You want to put on like all these like things to protect yourself. Be careful." And I'm like, "Mom, like f off."
Yeah, you got to balance it a little bit. I got a sister and a younger sister, younger brother, and it's overbearing just because it's from love. Yeah, that's all it is. But my sister actually taught me about Mexican mom guilt. Do you know about that?
My Mexican mom guilt.
Yeah. It doesn't have to do with so much like I don't know. It's kind of about like don't take as many risks or whatever. But so my sister is like a high school, or she's a counselor for high schoolers who want to get into college, and she was doing that in Texas. She used to live there, and she gave a seminar to the Spanish or the Hispanic students in this high school, and she was like had this entire slide on a PowerPoint about Mexican mom guilt. And I said, "What is that?" And she's like, "Oh, when you want to go to college and you want to like further your life, but your mom is like, no, mijo, don't leave me behind. You have to stay here," and like just making up reasons why not to leave the town and not to leave your family. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's like what? And my parents are super supportive and like wouldn't not really ever hold me back like that, but they definitely
is that why you've always lived in that little area?
oof.
Oof, oof.
Ooh. Um, Probably.
The truth comes
The
out.
truth, yeah, yeah,
No, it's weird because that's something about Mexicans and Latinos in general is family is so important and it's so integrated in our life, culture, and decisions, right? No, I when I was in high school, I wanted to move to Australia right after I graduated, and then I was like, well, maybe that's too far because I don't want to leave my parents. And then I was like, all right, I'll do California. California is good, right? And then I'm like, nah, but I don't want to leave my parents, like I'll feel bad. So then I just stayed at home. um,
but you moved to New York?
no, so the thing is, man, and from this is my perspective here. I learned a lot from white people once I graduated high school.
Oh yeah,
Um, White people just don't give a shit in general.
dude, yeah,
They're like, okay, cool. My parents, their job is to take care of me till I'm 18 and then I'm out. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And I was the opposite, right? It's like, okay, what do I need to do to, stay around my family, help my family, all that other type of mindset. And once I graduated and I started hanging out with more white people more often and I saw their attitude and what they were accomplishing and all that other good stuff, I'm like, yo, let me get a piece of that. So then eventually, I moved out to Wilmington, which is, where you went.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's a different culture.
I don't know what it is, but it's definitely more like clingy. And I'm not speaking ill towards the culture, or my family, or nothing like that. My mom was like the uh, nicest person in the entire world, the saint. She was like born to be a mother. I'm who I am because of her, but and my dad too. But yeah, it's definitely like this. It's just more caring and like just raising kind of more sensitive people, I guess, or something. I might not be completely right, but somewhere in there is like, uh, you know, it,
No, I mean, dude, you're absolutely correct. It's hard to describe, but yes, family becomes such a central part of life and the culture for Hispanic people.
I don't know.
But it's good and bad though, right? Because it's good to have that support, but it's also bad because then sometimes people just don't do what they probably want to do.
I don't know. They don't take as many risks. Maybe I was watching that Michael Jordan documentary. I was finally catching up on that. That was awesome, by the way. I don't know if you saw
Top
it,
notch,
dude. He's
top
he's the
notch.
best. And I'm not. I wish I was a sports guy. I know you probably are, but because you were talking to me about football one time I was hanging out with you. Um, you watch sports, don't you?
Oh, all the time.
Oh yeah. Not me. Just NASCAR every once in a while.
You gotta get your engine rooms and stuff in.
Dude, it's perfect sport for someone who has ADD, which I don't know if I have, but I'm pretty sure I got it.
I mean, I think almost everybody has it these days.
Yeah. But anyways, it was just like I don't know. That might not be true because he had like a super supportive like family and everything. You know, I don't know what I'm
Well,
talking
look,
about.
it's not that you know.
It's like about somebody who just needs to just suck it up and just do what you got to do. You don't need somebody licking your boo boos and cleaning your wounds. You just I don't know. It's
Well,
something.
there's a look. All mothers and all parents in general will always want what's best for their kids, right? You don't have to be Hispanic or white or black or Asian or African or whatever. It doesn't matter. Usually the sentiment is the same. You want what's best for your children. I think the difference with Hispanic people is the fact that it is the core of almost everything that you do, right? So the children learn that you need to do stuff for your parents, and the parents, teach you that they'll do anything for you, and it's like that relationship is back and forth, right? So when you get older, you'll do anything for them just the way they did things for you. And I'm not saying that any other culture doesn't have that, mentality, but it's just at another level with Hispanic people.
There's a
It's
little more
like,
guilt in it, maybe.
yeah, you're like shit, and it might also have to do a lot um, with the struggles, right? I mean, name a really rich, well-off Hispanic country, none, and so it's kind of like, okay, it's us versus the world.
Right.
There is no one else will take care of you other than your family, and that's the mindset. Uh, Again, it's got its benefits and it's definitely got its negatives, but damn, man, yeah, family is just like at the core of fucking
You
everything.
just all you have is each other. That's really it. Everybody knows that, but
Yes and no, though, right? Because
you got to do your own thing. You do
you
have to.
gotta you gotta learn to trust other people, and I think that that's one of the flaws, right? Is like, hey, if they're not family, you can't trust them, right? Only us will look out for you, and that's not true. There are other people that you will meet in this lifetime who will take care of you, who will always want what's best for you.
For sure, yeah, for sure.
And it becomes very secluded, right? When it's just family only. So again, every culture has its own thing. Hispanics really weird with the whole family first 1000% of the time.
Right,
Either
yeah,
that or you're a bad son or a bad daughter.
dude. It was weird. I didn't really. I felt very alone culturally until maybe college, and I realized there's other Mexicans who are like me. I mean, anyone who's like first generation or second generation, whatever. It's kind of like you're not alone. Basically, it's a whole generation of people in the United States or whatever race in whatever other country. When somebody when you're in the mix of two or more cultures, you're gonna like have some friction of trying to understand the world in a way that makes sense to you and pleases your family and all that kind of thing. Anyways, I went to UNCW, studied film studies. Haha, laugh at me. But
What years did you go to UNCW?
I actually went to NC State for 2 years, 2008 to 2010, and then it transferred 2010 to 2012, and finished up there. And I stayed in the city for a few more years, just kind of like hanging out with the friends that were still there, having fun. It's a beach town, so it was great.
Yeah, for those listening that don't know anything about Wilmington, North Carolina, you need to go. It's a great little town to just drink. Everything's dirt cheap, and the beach is what 5-10 minutes driving.
Right. It's, it,
Wrightsville Beach.
it is kind of a bubble, like the whole city. Um, I remember I went to NC State and just trashed the whole school. But I went to NC State and wherever it was, it might have been the library or the dining halls or somewhere. I would always get like a free newspaper, like a USA Today or something. And you kind of have to get there quick because they'll all be gone. And I remember when I went to UNCW, where they had their USA Todays that were free for students to just take.
Hmm.
It was always the pack was still like nobody had taken any. And like you look over to the trash can and it was just full of like brand new papers that no one had read from the day before. But
That's insane.
it's just like no one really kind of cares about the news that much here, it seems, because it's all college kids who go there because it's the beach, or retired people, and both of those drive however they want, so you get crazy traffic and car accidents and things like that. Yeah,
They both drive however they want.
kind of
They
insane.
don't give a shit about the fucking lines on the road.
It's I don't know what it is about that town. It's just I don't know. You feel so relevant over there, and you know all the people. You go to the same bars over and over again. So it was fun, but I'm glad I left. But
But that's usually what happens when you're in college, right? You or a small college town. You know the spots. Everybody goes there, and it's generational, right?
yeah,
It's just one class after another doing the same things, going to the beach, getting drunk.
and now I remember like seeing kind of older people, and it's like I'm I'm in college. The world is for me. Like what are you guys doing here, old people in their 30s and 40s, and now like that's me. It's like yeah, I need to. I have worn out my welcome to some of these young party places or whatever, which is good. I'm totally you know, life is just life has its struggles and stuff, but I feel like uh the more you go on, you can it's like a puzzle. Life is like a game. So you kind of figure it out and you learn to be happy in other ways that don't involve, partying or, necessarily, you know, being around you kind of just have your core friends and it's more quality, I feel like. I don't know.
Well, life is and I speak this coming from someone who is comfortable in their apartment. Um, but if you get dealt the right cards, life is nothing but a joyride, and it's up to you where you want to make the twists and turns, right?
Yeah,
But that doesn't go for everybody because I mean, I've met so many people who can't afford to eat, and that's not a joyride, right? That's a
right.
struggle.
This is all in the context of me like having a great foundation. Yeah,
Right, right. For those who are born into a good situation, life is a joyride, and for everybody else, it's a struggle. But with fortune and work, it can get a shit ton better. Not
right.
always, but it can. Um,
Which is why we need to help those less fortunate than us. But yes,
yeah, for sure. But anyway, so you went to college and you studied videography,
or film studies, yeah.
film
And then
studies.
I kind of just got internships and just started doing, just kind of inserting myself into that world because no one's gonna trust you with like expensive equipment and everything, you know. But everyone's got iPhones more or less, or any other type of camera, so you kind of start small and then you work. I worked for free for a little bit. Got
What made
some
you
sets.
want to do that?
The first domino was Lord of the Rings, my favorite uh, movies. I would watch the DVD behind the scenes when I was in middle school, uh, and just see how
So
they
you were the nerd.
make the movie. Yeah, man, I was super. I had one friend. He's my best friend, Kevin, from elementary school all the way up to high school, and then at high school I started kind of making more friends and branching out a little bit. But yeah, me and him, we read all those books, and we were like the nerds a little bit. Yeah, just like it's hardcore into Lord of the Rings and a little bit of Harry Potter. But around that time, that's when DVDs started coming out, anyways, like early 2000s. There's no like behind the scenes bonus features on VHSs, so kind of everybody was, I feel like, looking at behind the scenes and how they made all these cool scenes in movies or whatever. And I wanted to do like visual effects actually, and so I took animation in high school, uh, and then I kind of changed over to like cinematography and film in college, and was kind of more studying that a little bit. But yeah, it's all the same thread.
Well, it's funny because had you gone straight to UNC Wilmington instead of NC State, there's a good chance that we would have met
Yeah, man.
because I did film and videography at Cape Fear Community College, but half of my friends were doing film studies at UNC Wilmington.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I was surprised because you like, and then you've done stand up comedy. It's like, dude, I respect your hustle, man. You're a man of many strengths and skills.
I try a little bit of everything, but I master none. I am that guy.
But you got the guts, dude, and that you're a podcaster, dude. I I respect that.
Well, thank you.
Renaissance man.
But you're actually doing film and video today, right?
Yeah. So eventually, I just got lucky and got a company to trust me with camera equipment and editing software and stuff like that in 2016, and that's what I've been doing since then. So pretty much, you would think like, oh, you got to move to a big city and stuff, which that may be in the cards for me, a next step coming up. But most towns, I mean, videography is kind of like exploding. Even small towns have like production companies. You just Google whatever town you live in or something, and
Hmm.
video production companies. They're kind of all over the place. That's pretty interesting.
What do you film usually these days? Or, well, how has the pandemic affected work in general?
Not really. Where I'm at now is an automotive company in the marketing department. I work there, so that's more repetitive car stuff. But and that
Hmm.
has its own strengths. Uh, I like working with people, so it's nice to like shake it up and go do interviews or whatever. But I can do a little bit of everything. I've done plenty of weddings, education stuff, corporate stuff.
Do you get nervous when you film weddings and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure.
Because this is, I mean, we're talking about the quote unquote once in a lifetime event, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll give you $500 to come film this. And then if it doesn't come out right,
It's more than $500. It can get up there, and no, all of that has gone through my head for sure. I've done maybe total in my life maybe 25 weddings now. And even the most recent one I did, I was you still sweat through your shirt, and but you just got to be as prepared as you can. Remember your training, as they say.
well, for those situations, I'm really curious. Do you make most of the decisions on when and what to film, or do you get told to do stuff a lot?
Like in general.
Well, yeah, like at weddings.
Oh, at weddings. Well, a wedding is like all weddings are different, but they basically follow the same patterns. So you kind of know what to. You're gonna hit all the same beats, basically. Um, yeah, you kind of just have to. You can't be. You have to pay attention. That's the main thing. It's very
Got
easy to like kind of focus in on the screen, because you got your monitor attached to the camera. You're just kind of you need to be super aware of your surroundings outside of the monitor and like
mm,
changing it up, getting different angles, and um, it's a lot of people skills too. You don't want to like agitate people who are running behind schedule, and you got wedding planner and mothers of the bride and DJ and whatever all to account for. So part of it is just just roll with it and then just do the best you can do. But there's definitely a lot of preparation for sure.
yeah, I thought about for a while to do something like that to try and, you know, hey, I can buy a camera. I know how to do this. I can maybe start advertising for, hey, if you have an event, you have a wedding, you have whatever. But then honestly, I was like, man, I don't think I'm good enough to the point where I would want people to trust me with their once in a lifetime event, right?
Oh no, I definitely had to go through maybe seven um, weddings where I was kind of just like the second shooter, kind of shadowing. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's not something you just want to drop in.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, and I was like, "Nah, I don't think I wanna do that. I don't wanna ruin anybody's lives."
I mean, you could, I've been to weddings and as a guest, and see people filming, and to me, it doesn't look like they're hustling as much as maybe I would, or like um, they're not in the best spot to capture like a important speech, or
Right, right.
um,
It's
so
almost like, it's like watching a dad just film something, right? Just stand there and
yeah, but I don't know. You just not hitting record is the worst thing you can do. Sometimes just being there, uh, you'd rather not miss it. Just get a moment or whatever, and you usually work out. And also, videography is easier than photography because you can photos is like you have to have the one shot, and you can't control how long a person looks at it. You know what I mean? But you can cover up mistakes with video, and if you don't get something, there's gonna be something later on in the day that you can put in the video, depending on what it is. And I've made some really bad mistakes before, but I don't know. It's I've definitely tried to do other jobs to provide income and feed myself, uh, and it's just like I can't I can't want to do anything else. I feel like I mean something, so I can't want to you know work in business or insurance. Or I used to work at a print shop. It's I always come back to like video stuff. So as long as I'm in this world, I feel like I'm in the right place. You know what I mean?
No, that's awesome that you get to do what you love.
Yeah.
Um, Too often, actually, probably most of the time, people are doing something that they don't really enjoy, and they don't seek out entirely what they do enjoy. They kind of just settle. Um,
Which is not all bad too. I kind of respect that. That's a different level of like maturity where you kind of just got to suck it up and provide for yourself. And
oh well, absolutely, right. There's you have to respect anybody who's willing to work to not only feed themselves but get ahead, regardless of whether they like it or not. But there's just something different about those people, such as yourself, that get to do what they love. Because I can guarantee you, I can talk to all of my coworkers and everybody that I know that works in an office, and I say, "Hey, do you love this?" And 99.9 of them are like, "No."
yeah, yeah.
But then I talk to people like you who gets to do what they love and make an income out of it. That's phenomenal. And then same thing with like, when I was doing stand up before COVID hit, I would meet some of these artists who are actually getting paid to do things. And I'm like, dude, props to you for getting up there, getting so good at it that what you love, you get paid to do.
Right.
And that's what you're doing. So
Thanks, man. Yeah,
kudos to you, man.
appreciate it.
Meanwhile, here I am sitting down talking to people on a podcast.
Dude, well, people hate on podcasts now because there's so many of them and stuff, but like they don't respect like the work that goes into it. Conversation is you know, there's I've been wanting to do one for like 7 years now, and it's like just
Well,
wonder.
what are you waiting
It's
for?
exactly. I don't know. Maybe somebody listening to this is probably in the same situation, but it's like, that first little bit, it takes guts, or it's just if something is in your system, I feel like you should try and get it out. So like doing stand up comedy was just bugging you probably, and you're like, I gotta do it. I gotta like try some jokes and see how it works out, or like I respect anybody who tries and puts themselves out there, and like especially if they're new at it. The only way to get practice is to like actually make a product and have people like basically judge it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, that's
It's not like practicing guitar in your room alone where no one hears you and judges you. Which I respect too. I want to learn an instrument as well, but you know what I mean.
so basically anybody who's listening, if there's something that you want to do, you want to try, if you hate your job, whatever it is, just try to do something that you love. Whether you're good at it, not good at it, whether it's sitting at home playing guitar or I don't know, making a shooting a little video somewhere, right? And making a commercial, an unofficial commercial, which is what I used to do back in college. I had a commercial for an energy drink called Buku. Did one for Nike. Did one for Trojan condoms.
No way, dude. I gotta see those. Please send those to me.
I think they're on YouTube. I don't know which ones are and which ones aren't, but
So you just like didn't get permission. You just made it, and then like, were you gonna send it to him to be like, hey, if you want, it's already made. Y'all can use this and pay me or whatever.
yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just out of boredom and between projects and school and stuff like that. Because again, I was doing film and shit. Um, I was like, yo, I'm gonna shoot some commercials real quick that I think would be cool. And Nike ended up doing something very similar. I mean, years and years later. So I don't think they stole my idea, but
You never know.
point is, if you like something, just make a little bit of time for it. It'll make your life so much better. Whether you're good at it, whether you're bad at it, whether it becomes your job, whether it doesn't, right? Even if it's just a little hobby, do it. It goes a long way.
Can I say something about that actually? Because
Go for it.
like if something is in, you have to listen to your body basically. So like, I worked at this one job out of college. Well, I worked at Sears actually, selling tools and stuff while I had an unpaid internship. And that was not fun. I jumped to like a data entry job, making like minimum wage. I did that warehouse job doing I was working at a print shop. Just all these like random, things, and it's like I cannot let myself be miserable to other people. Not that I was such a drain. I hope I wasn't, but you kind of have to listen to your body. If something's like itching at you to like, you need to do something, like try and insert yourself into that world a little bit. So around that time, in 2015, I got a job at a TV station. I don't really, the news is not what I want to work in, but I was at least around camera and production, and you
Right.
never know what you might learn from uh, something that's not exactly what you're looking for.
Oh,
Kind of all
absolutely.
helps. So you got to think positively. But then the other side, I was telling my friend this back in 2014 when I was working at the print shop, and I had no idea which direction my life would go in. I was like, dude, like, so let's just say I think his dream was like golf related. He was like, he was working at a country club or something, trying to get PGA license or whatever it was. And so we were both kind of talking about like our goals and paths and everything. And it's like, dude, let's just say that we both fail, right? The worst case scenario is that we just get a regular job and live a regular life, and then, maybe, you know, have get married and have a wife and have some kids, just living like a regular old American 9 to 5 job. That's the worst case scenario. That's not all bad. You have to live with, you have to live with regret, but a lot of people live with that. So
No, yeah. It's always
you got to think positively. You know what I mean?
think positive, treat others positively, and follow, sounds corny, but follow your heart, you know? If you love something, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to
No, it's a beautiful note to end the podcast. Jose, I honestly really appreciate you coming on.
appreciate it, man. Dude, props to you. Everything you've achieved. You got to stay safe up there in New York, man.
Yeah, I got to stop licking all these light posts.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to get something, and it's probably not going to be the Rona.
It's fine. You went to Cape Fear. I think you're pretty.
Yeah. I survived Wilmington for about 2 years, so I have a lot of immunities.
That's it. Built up immunity.
All right, well, Jose, again, thank you so much, and you have a wonderful night, man. I'll talk to you
Hey,
later.
man. You too. Take care.
See ya.